Hey you, thanks for stopping by my channel today. I really appreciate you choosing to spend time with me today. Today's video is about a find that I found while I was shopping at my local Michael's. And since I had the Artist Loft watercolor in mind, I was super stoked when I found the jelly gouache set, and that's what today's video is about. So the first thing I wanted to know was, is it anything like the watercolors? Because I really enjoyed the watercolors, though I did struggle with them in terms of a lot of things, but I liked the colors. And so I was hopeful that this jelly gouache set would be pigmented similarly. And here we go! The grand opening of the set. The box felt really nice and sturdy. I didn't think that the color of the box was terrible. Not as cute as the jelly gouache that broke the internet a while back ago. The jelly gouache, the Himi one. Way cuter. But this I could live with. And I didn't do, I skipped. I didn't do a whole bunch of the opening of the jelly gouache and swatching it against the factory swatch sheet because I really couldn't open them in frame. I had to pull the lids off of camera frame because my thumbs aren't strong, or my finger strength in general. But I remembered hating opening the other set of gouache that I had, the Himi gouache. I hated opening that too. I think it might just be the nature of the jelly gouache, and their little McNugget containers are just terrible to open. So my impression of when I first started painting with the gouache and swatching it was that it was really a thick, meaty texture. I know that's sorry, but that's where my brain wants to describe it. It's really thick, and it took me a while to get the water ratio to the gouache to get it to paint in a manner that I felt comfortable swatching with. If you look at my first two swatches, they're actually more translucent than they should be because I added too much water trying. I overcompensated. I sure did. I overcompensated for the thickness of the gouache. I thought that the colors were very nicely pigmented, and any sort of struggles you see with me getting any sort of coverage is absolutely 100% user failure. It's not product, it's me. And I will own that and not be ashamed, because there's a learning curve. It takes time to learn new things. Even though I keep on comparing it to the Himi gouache because it feels oddly similar. There's the comparison to the printed card, and that is one of the reasons why you swatch, because the printed one doesn't really look like what the product does. I mean, it's close. It gives you the ballpark figure, but it's not an accurate thing. And I feel like in some painting applications, accuracy matters. And so I started thinking about the gouaches that I owned. The Master's Touch gouache, which you get at Hobby Lobby. I pulled it out and it really isn't anything like it. But this Himi gouache, oh my goodness. It is uncannily. All of the colors are pretty much spot on to the ones that I got with the Master Touch, except number 12. Feels it's completely a different color than the one on the Artist's Loft. But as you see me maneuvering it around, comparing it, it is very impressive. So similar in colors, I wonder if it isn't manufactured by the same people that make Himi and it's just thrown into a different package label, or if Artist Loft purposely tried to mimic the Himi gouache and changed that one green for copyright reasons, I really don't know the law on artist set colors. But if you compare the watercolor with the gouache, they definitely are not the same. The watercolor, the pan watercolor, actually has a lot of white in it, and they feel significantly different because of that. I feel like in the summer, I might go back and try adding white to the Artist Loft color, the gouache one, to see how I feel about it. It might be a video, it might not be. So this is me skipping ahead. I cut out all my footage of the sketching and the drawing and the transferring of this, because it's really my least favorite part to watch. And like, I don't have that good of attention span, y'all. And so I figure if it's my artwork and it's too much for me to hang in there, even at the sped up version of it, like, it needs to go. And so, because this video is gonna come out in January, this is my little snow buddy, even though it doesn't have anything to do with skiing. I think if you have ever seen little kids in their super, like, poofy winter jackets, that it's absolutely adorable. Ooh, little shout out to something I think everybody should own. That is a foxtail brush. I got mine years ago with a drafting set from Office Depot, and I think that if you wander around one of those office supply stores, you can still find them for relatively cheap. I've never seen them at Hobby Lobby. I've never seen them at Michael's, but they're a good buy. They get rid of all the eraser pookies. And super cute. I talk about how I accidentally forgot to draw the lintel of the door. Is that what you call the thing above the door? And separate the trim from the door itself. A quick little work with the pen, and it turned out just fine. I think that one of the things that I regret about this painting is I feel that I went too saturated in the colors. I went too dark too fast. And if I were going to paint it again, I would pull it back and I would add more white. I find that this is something that I struggled with the Himi gouache as well. I'm not sure if it has something to do with the white in the palette not being robust enough, or if my brain is pre-programmed to think like a watercolorist and I rely on translucency of the paint to provide me with white that isn't there. I'm not sure, but it was something that I noticed in this painting that I was disappointed with, and then I went and looked at other paintings I did with jelly gouache and recuperator error. But I do think that I still came up with a super cute painting. I mean, come on, look, he's adorable. A couple different places where I get brave in this painting is I'm gonna paint those snowflakes, and I really like the painting right about now. I think it's really sweet. And part of me is like, should have I stopped here? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But then I go for it. And I make a big risk and I paint. Oh, not yet. I'm adding blue to pop out the rabbit more, to make him be of the white in the painting, so he's singularly the focal point and not competing with all the other light spaces. So I do paint the snowflakes, and they end up being too similar in shade to everything around them, and I have to go back and fix them, and I end up trying to sort of make like a gradation of the snowflakes darkest near the bottom to sort of pop them out and leave the one in the top left as close as I can to my that it was worth going big and bold and trying, because you never know if you like things or not. The other thing that I tried with this painting that I'm not sure was the best idea is after I get these snowflakes done, I'm like, I'm gonna do the toothbrush snow technique, and the gouache did its job wonderfully, but as soon as I got it on, I'm like, what did I do to that rabbit's face? And there we go. And that hand-drawn snowflake with the brush was a definite no. So I go back in. I have to refix it. And I have to touch it up several times when I'm fixing the line work, because I kept on putting my hand in it. And the thicker you put on the gouache, the longer it takes. So you'll see me touch it up a few times. And I don't know why I own the fine liner pens, because I find myself using all sorts of roller balls to go and clean up the line work on my paintings. But I think it was worth it, and I think he was super cute. So, in wrap up, I think if you live in the States and can get to Michael's, buy the Michael's Artist Loft Jelly Gouache and do it when it's on sale or if you have coupon points. And until next time, like,